Welcome to Agent Marketing Academy. My name's Dave Marzinke. I'm with the company called Movement Mortgage, and I run our branch down here in Orange County and Mission Viejo. And we work all over the state, as well as Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Arizona, Nevada, Washington, and Oregon. So here to help you out with any financing needs for residential lending. So if you haven't joined one of our classes before, this topic is just basically one of our many classes that we offer under the guise of Agent Marketing Academy. And today we're just here to give you a high-level view of making your listings more shareable on social media and what goes into that. So it's going to take about 35, 40 minutes on that. And we want to make this as interactive as possible. So make sure you use the chat window for any questions that you have, or the Q&A tab. We'll be monitoring those, and we'll answer those as we go along here. So let's get started. Sharing on social media is the holy grail of making sure that your content gets posted out there and gets around, just like word of mouth, right? So you want to have your content get beyond your sphere of influence or your own network. And so if enough people share it, you can have something go very quickly, go viral, so to speak, and just get more eyeballs on your content, more eyeballs on you as a professional and your listings or the people that you're helping out. So that's what we want for our social media accounts, and that's what we're going to here to do to help you out with that. So let's get started. So how do people share, or how do you get people to share your content? There's a psychology behind that on social media. So that's kind of what we want to look into, as what makes things shareable, what drives people to share things, and what becomes powerful about social media in that people can share things very quickly. So once you understand that, then you have a better sense of what to post and where to post it, and the rest can take care of itself there. So why people share content? Basically, the first reason is that they want to introduce valuable information or something entertaining to other people. So think about why you share certain things in your social media feeds. And so if you found something that it impacted you in some way, like either made you laugh, cry, take action, think about something, and you felt compelled to share it with others, it's affected you in some way. There's an emotional tie to that. So that's what compels people to share content. It's a noisy world online. And if you want our content, i.e. our listings or our real estate info, to get noticed and get shared, we have to put a little bit more effort than just click and post on it. So we want to capture attention and have engagement on that. So you have to put thought into creating your story or crafting your story and connecting with people emotionally on an emotional level. So that's the whole psychology behind what makes things shareable. So people share content that's important and relevant to them, right? So if the content is connected to their personality, their values, what's important to them, people will share that content because they believe in it, and they care about it, and they care about the message and the person that's behind it. So how many of you can share photos with positive quotes or videos that make you feel good or laugh? Or how many of you done that in the past? Probably every single one of us, right? So it's all about because we believe in that content, or we have an emotional tie to that content. The other reason why people share things is to build connections. So as we know, social media is all about connecting online and sharing and having a conversation there. So there's easy ways to maintain those relationships, but you have to be yourself, you have to be authentic, you have to get personal, and leave the politics out of it, right? So you want to share things about your family, your passions, your hobbies, your interests. But don't make the mistake of always posting just real estate content without a blend of personal mix in there. And a good rule of thumb on that is that 80% of your posting should be personal, 20% business. And your business page can be the reverse. So if you have a Facebook business page or an Instagram business profile, then maybe reverse that, where 80% is business and 20% is personal. But people expect more business related content on the business pages, but on your personal pages, you want to make that it's not all about just real estate. You want to mix in that personal and have people get to know who you are. All right, so 69% of people share things so that they can feel engaged in the world, right? People engage online around passions and causes, things that they believe in. So are you associated with any causes or charities that you believe in your local area, like the local food bank, Make-A-Wish, breast cancer, pet rescue, veterans, homeless, any causes that are out there? So does anybody have a cause or a charity that they want to share online with what they're involved in and what they're passionate about in their own community? Type it in the chat window if you do. We'd love to see what everybody's involved in. I'll share mine in a second here. So other people share about their passions, what their worthy causes to them, what they feel like they want to contribute to. So, one of the great ideas to make your content more shareable is if you talk about what if a portion of your proceeds from each sale of your listings or each sale of your closed transactions goes towards a cause that you care about. And so that's one of the things that you can talk about and tie your business into, is having those charitable contributions. With Movement Mortgage, our mission statement is we believe that we're a movement of change, and we want to change change the communities that we do business in. And so that's one of the big reasons behind our name, Movement Mortgage, is because we want to be a movement and change in the communities that we do business in. So another statistic is that 84% share so that more people will find out about an issue with which they're concerned about. So if there's a Walk for Cancer event or an Alzheimer's event, something along the lines of building homes with Habitat for Humanity, share it up. A school fundraiser, community fundraisers, those type of things. So sharing, just to get people active, engaged with your content, and participate in what you're doing in the community. So, and they'll appreciate you for sharing that information. People want to know what's going on around them, and social media is a great way to bring people into the fold, so to speak. So one of the great examples of a cause that helps you make a difference and connect emotionally is givebackhomes.com. So I just recently signed up with this group, and so every closed transaction, a portion of that, we make donations to Giveback Homes, and what they do is they build homes around the world for people that are in distressed situations. So, that creates an emotional connection, and you can tie that in with your business and talk about how you're not only just doing real estate because you love to help people, but you're doing real estate to make a difference in your community. Sorry for the helicopter noise. We're over here by the hospital, and it looks like one's just flying in. So hopefully that doesn't reverberate too much. But here's a sample of a build project page that Giveback Homes is working on. So they have projects all around the world, like we talked about, and you can help involve your clients, or you can just donate on your own and have that be go directly to Giveback Homes and have that used to help build homes for people that are in need around the world. So check that out if you'd like to, and you can go back to givebackhomes.com if that's something that speaks to you. All right, so let's also talk about why people don't share content. What's your number one asset as a real estate agent? If anybody's got an answer to that, type it in the chat window. Any answers out there? All right, well, trust, I would say, is your number one asset as a real estate agent. Do consumers have a perception and trust issues about real estate agents? Do they trust real estate agents or the real estate business, the real estate profession? Generally speaking, no. That's why it's important to build trust with your online followers. And how do you do that? You stop selling and you start helping. You build trust by being authentic and sharing valuable educational content, right? So people don't share things because they aren't invested in the brand. And this is directly related to cause marketing, which is what we talked about earlier with Giveback Homes. So if you're Tom Shoes or Apple Computer, those types of companies, you have what they call cause marketing. And in order to get people invested in the brand called you as a real estate professional, you have to be more than just about selling homes. And people tune that noise out, and people, quickly turn the channel on that. So again, cause marketing gets people engaged and invested in the good work that you're doing. And even if your followers aren't directly involved in your cause, you put out good content, make it fun, engage with people, and they'll become invested in you and be a raving fan and promote you as a professional. So definitely look into that if that's something that speaks to you. And obviously people don't share things if they're not interesting, or if it's not interesting, or if they're not interested in it, right? So too often the content that we find online is the Me Too content, right? It's canned, it's impersonal, it's basically somebody else that doesn't speak to who you are as a person, right? So you want to make sure that the content you're sharing is relevant, educational, entertaining, or inspirational. So you want to provide facts and data about the local housing market, first-time homebuyer programs, client success stories. Many of you already know this, but the recipes and gardening tips probably don't appeal to most of the audience. So local happenings, community events, new restaurants, these are things that draw people in. So where you live and who lives in your community. Right. And people won't share your content if they don't think you're human enough, right? So people do care about causes, and like other business people, realtors too often can be dispassionate, or mortgage professionals can be too dispassionate about everything but selling themselves. So find something that you can advance that is bigger than the bottom line, or bigger than you. So a charity, a cause, some type of thing, that you believe in or that speaks to you. Real estate is a people business, and it's all about building relationships, caring about people. And you've heard that saying that, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So we've heard that a million times. All right, so let's go over some specific tips for shareable real estate listings, right? So create a dedicated page for a blog post for your listing, a dedicated page or a blog post for your listing. These are otherwise known as single property websites. So does anybody out there use single property websites that are promoting their listings right now? Hey, Karen, just saw your name pop up there. Welcome. Haven't seen you in here before, but glad you're here. I know Karen uses single property websites, or I think I've seen her do that. But if anybody else does, feel free to drop it in the chat window there. But basically, single property websites are individual URLs. Greg does, awesome. So, and this is dedicated just for your listing that you have that you can share. So it's an individual URL that's tied specifically to your listing. So these sites will not only be more shareable, they'll also get indexed by search engines to give you added bang for your dollar. So. One of the things that we do through a couple different channels here at Movement is we have single property websites for our partner agents that we work with, as well as List Reports creates a pretty unique single property website that makes very shareable. So if you want more information about that, let me know. All right, and definitely, with your listings, you want to make sure that your photos are amazing. And I know that you guys know this, but I've been looking around the country at other areas of the real estate market, because we were looking at some investment properties, and I tell you, some of these pictures that get posted online are amazing. We're spoiled out here in Southern California because I think there's so many great agents that use professional photographers for their listings. But if you look around the country, you'd be surprised at some of the photos that make it on the MLS or promote listings with that. So have high quality photos. Make sure that that's content. Shows all the great features about the house. Something that you guys already know, right? No bad photos. I'm sure you guys have seen this bit on Ellen's show before in the past, where she talks about really bad real estate photos. One of the interesting things that we found out with this is that many of your leads discover your listings through the local MLS. So it's important to start with a strong listing description. Of course, your MLS has a word count and property description limitations, but you want to use descriptive words when highlighting the notable features of your property, right? So the photos and the videos are great, and that's definitely what people will first key into, but having a great description will also sell your listing and make that shareable. So according to Zillow's research, and I know that's a bad name sometimes, but according to Zillow's research, words like luxurious, captivating, or stainless can definitely add to the value of your property or the perception of your property as well. So you want to make sure that you use some keywords that are in the description. This is an interesting stat that came up. It said homes within a mile of Trader Joe's or Whole Foods are worth twice as much as the median home in the United States. I think that has more to do with where Trader Joe's puts their stores than anything else, but it's an interesting stat nonetheless. And then what makes a home unique, right? You want to call attention to the features, the history, or the elements that make that home unique. And homes with longer listing descriptions consistently sell for more, right? The rule of thumb is to keep it in the 250 words or under for the best results. But going beyond the typical ad copy is definitely something that you want to do. So, this would be something that's typical, right? 3-story, air conditioning, new furnace, all appliances included, basement walks out the fence, backyard. Gets the point across. But better ad copy would be something like this, right? Just very descriptive, has emotional tie-in, paints a picture for the buyer for the listing. And this is all something that you guys know, but it's definitely gives you a clear-cut details and information about the house and paints that picture for the buyer being in that property. So. And one of the things that make your listings more shareable is, you want to promote the unique things about your listing. So the takeaway here is to tell stories with emotion. You want to capture potential buyer senses with your words and try to paint a picture of what it's like to live in that home. One of the cool things about that is identifying brands of renovations that have been done on the home, or contractors that have been used on the house, or unique features that you can draw attention to. And as we mentioned earlier, having local shopping or unique community businesses, you want to draw attention to that as well, because people not only buy the house, but they buy the community that they're buying in, right? So what's the vibe of the area? You want to talk it up and bring some local landmarks or photos into that as well. And of course, who want to list upcoming open house dates, right? As we all know that we're having those back, at least temporarily. So hosting an open house is definitely something that can make your listing more shareable. Creating an event on your business page and promoting that can make that more shareable. Putting that on your Instagram stories, any of that information, right? So promotion, promotion, promotion. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, giving a shout out to local businesses if they've been involved with renovating the house or working on the house. That's something that's unique, and you can tie that in and promote that onto your listings and on your listing description. And it just kind of puts that whole community feel on it and draws attention to that. So, and you'll get those other contractors that have been mentioned, or they'll share the listing information as well, because it helps promote their business and their work, right? So that makes it more shareable. So the purpose of a call to action, as we know, is to bring a response from an interested home shopper. And responses typically include a click on a link or a message or an email inquiry. So definitely want to include a personal note and a call to action on anything that you share online, because you want to get people to take that next step. One of the cool things that I've seen people do is that they can tie in a free download, right? So like a first-time homebuyer's guide or the home selling guides that are out there. If you're a member of Keeping Current Matters, they have some great home buying guides that are basically ebooks that you can use as giveaways. And so a lot of people will tie that in, say, you know, sign up for our newsletter or sign up for our weekly updates and get this free home buyer's guide. So that's a way to make it more shareable, and then also have a call to action and get people to get information that people are responding to, engaging with your content on. And so if you've ever been on Facebook and you've clicked or liked or shared on a post or retweet on Twitter or anything on Instagram, then you understand the power of social sharing, right? It's a way to push out your content to all of your contacts, your clients, your friends, family, all of your connections. So just remember that your friends and family on your personal Facebook page don't want to be blasted with listings every single day, right? Or all the time. So the balance on your personal page should be 80% personal, 20% business. And then you can flip that around on your business pages on Instagram and Facebook or wherever else that you have content. And one of the key things is that once your home sells, don't remove the listing page, right? You can remove the link to your listing from your featured home section or your website, but don't remove the listing page. Nobody wants to share content that is going to be removed, right? Causing broken links on their Facebook feed. So instead, take advantage of these links by updating the property as sold and perhaps suggesting a similar home or homes in the area or contact me. And one of the great promotions I've seen is that, you know, people will take a just sold listing and use that and say, if you're interested and missed out on this property, but you're interested in homes just like that, reach out to me and download our free newsletter or our free updates that we can keep you informed on what's coming next. So that's definitely a strong call to action on that. So keep those links active on that. Great. So I hope you guys got some good ideas out of all this. You know, if you have one good idea, if you want to talk about a takeaway, love to sit down with you offline, maybe grab a cup of coffee and we can share that information and talk about action plan to go further with that. But these are just some basic things to get you started on what makes things shareable, how to get your listings more shareable online, and think about the reason why people share content, right? Make sure there's an emotional story, make sure you're building trust, make sure that you have educational, valuable content that you're sharing, and then follow those 10 tips to make your listings more shareable as well. Appreciate your time, everyone. If you have questions, we'll stick around here and then we'll go from there. So hope you have a great day.